How many of us in the West really know anything at all about South Korea? Hi, I'm David Clive Price, and I'm the author of a new book on South Korea called Phoenix Rising, A Journey Through South Korea. And this book is the fruit of my travels in Korea, in South Korea, from 1988 onwards, from the time of the birth of democracy there, the end of military government, and the 1988 Olympics, and then the decades of somewhat volatile democratic advance and progress, and the growth and explosion of Korean economic success and the Korean economic story, what's called the miracle on the Han. I'm very privileged that for several years I was able to go from my base in Hong Kong 6 times a year into South Korea, paid indeed as a journalist to travel journalist to write about the country for the Korean Air in-flight magazine, and this gave me a tremendous opportunity to go into all corners, nooks and crannies of South Korea, to the extent that many South Koreans now say to me, "David, you know much more about our country than we do." And it's a fascinating country, a country of extraordinary history, a country of fantastic traditions and mysticism and struggle. And we must emphasize that above all, struggle, because there have been struggles against oppressors and invasions from the 16th century, and well before the 16th century. The Chinese invasions of the 13th, 12th and 13th century come to mind as well. The Japanese invasions of the 16th century, which were beaten off by a famous Korean general called Admiral Yi in the South Korean waters in 1596, and then onwards into the modern or semi-modern period of the 20th century, where again invasions, first of all colonial invasions, the removal of the king and of the monarchy, then Japanese invasions from 1940 onwards, and the period of Japanese rule, and then the Korean War, onwards and upwards. Since then, we could truly say Korea has gone onwards and upwards from the ruins of that incredible period of invasion, fire and brimstone that has been the Korean experience. And this, I believe, for business people, for travelers, for all of those who are interested in the countries and cultures of Asia, is the defining characteristic of the Koreans. They will look you straight in the eye. They will not step down from anything. They are far more direct than most Asian peoples. And they have a warmth, they have a musicality, they have an excitement about them, which is born, I believe, from centuries of hardness, of difficult life, and of survival, of the will to survive. And that comes out, I think, these days in the creativity and innovation, not only of the companies in Korea with the big famous multinationals like LG and Samsung, but also in the arts and in music and in TV and in the media in general and in K-pop and in Kanyam, the Kanyam style, and in all these kind of aspects of originality. Korea is looked upon as one of the most innovative and exciting fashion capitals of the world, far removed from the city of Seoul, for example, or the countryside indeed, where I first went to Korea, and it was remarkable even to see a foreigner there, and everything was really still very much part of the 19th century, Confucian hats, Confucian robes, farmers farming, little country houses and inns, and the yogwans with the underfloor heating. There's still a lot of that around in Korea, thank goodness, but also an enormous amount of innovation. The modern lives and is born out of the old. And that's what I try to show in this book, which takes you into the heart of South Korea, as it says here in the blurb, to the brash, sophisticated, highly creative Korea of today. And on the way I pause at Korean temples, hermitages, and the border with the north, romantic islands and the dynastic capitals that were once the semi-fiefdoms of China. And I try to evoke a portrait of a country in constant dynamic flux and yet reliant on its centuries-old traditions and culture. So please go to my website where you can find a blog article about the book, Journey into South Korea, and you can also on that page www.davidcliveprice.com/blog. There you will find the page for this book, and you can also order it on that page from Amazon UK and Amazon US. And I wish you great pleasure in reading the book. I would love to hear from you. I would also love your opinions and also love your reviews, if you would like to give a review on Amazon. And I hope that one day, if you haven't done so already, you'll be able to visit this fascinating country, one of the great pioneering and leaders of Asian cultural excitement, verve, vigor and tradition in Asia, in the region. So, I wish you every success, and I also wish you great reading with my new book.